Good day, everyone. I am Jasper Arquirante, and welcome to my new episode of my video tutorial here on YouTube. So, for today's video, I'm gonna show you DHCP configuration or basic DHCP setup on Windows Server 2012 R2. So, let's begin. So, first thing you're gonna need to do is to check your IP address if it's been already configured. So there are many ways you can check it. So you can also search it network, then go to this network. Change adapter settings. You can click the internet and then properties. In the internet properties, you need to go to the internet protocol version 4, click for its properties. So if you're watching my previous video tutorial about active directory, creating active directory and creating a user domain account and other stuffs, I already set and configured the internet protocol version 4. So as you see here, the IP address 192.168.0.1 and the subnet mask as well. So for today's video, I'm gonna change my IP address and subnet mask, and I'm gonna follow the video tutorial that's being shown us in our teacher or instructor in this course, system administration maintenance. So I'm gonna change this into what is in that video. One. So another thing is 10. So that's the 2. And the subnet mask, I would like to figure this 255.0 and 0.0. And default gateway, I will configure this as well. 1. So also the preferred DNS, I would like to configure this same as what is in the video. So then so that's it. Click OK, close. So basically, in my previous video, I already set and configure those stuffs in IP address, IP version 4, but in this video I will reconfigure it again because I need to follow what is in the video that's being shown us by our teacher in our course. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to go to the server manager. So server manager, and then we are in the server manager. We need to click this DHCP in the upper left side corner, and as we can see here, configuration required for DHCP server at Windows RQF0Z6F2AFF. So it means that the configuration, there is some configuration that required for the DHCP server. So after that, need to go to tools and then DHCP. Basically, then we are in DHCP. So as you can see in my previous video, I also setting this up, or I already set this up. I add already a scope here, so I need to add another new scope for the sake of this video and to show you how to do that. So there's two IP versions here, IP version 4 and 6, and you can click this. There's a lot of options that is being show us here. So this is the scope that I made in my previous video, 192.168, and my previous IP address is being configured, is already done here. So I need to add another scope just to show you how to do that. Click this IP version 4 because we need to go to this version 4 because that IP address we're setting as a new IP address that configured, and then click new scope and then click next, and then I'm gonna name this basic scope, then click next, and then after that the new scope wizard are asking IP address range, so we need to define the scope address range by identifying a set of consecutive IP address. So as what I've said before, I need to follow the steps being said in the video, so I need to follow the IP address as well. 100, that's the start IP address, and the end IP address. So as we can see here, we enter the range of the addresses and scope that being distributed is being this case allow us to release 100 of IP address between start IP address and end. So click next, and then add exclusion and delay. So I need to add another IP address and configure that. So next to proceed, and then list duration. So I didn't want to change the duration scope leases when distributed by servers. Click next, and then we are in configure DHCP options. So we have to configure the most common DHCP options before clients can use the scope. So yes, I want to configure this now. Click next, then we are in router default gateway, so I need to add another IP address. So 10.1.10.1, and then click add, and then click next, and domain name and DNS servers. So as you can see in the parent domain name, I already configured it in my previous video. So my first name .local, and then I need to configure it again. And basically in this area, the IP address, I already enroll two IP address, the 10.1.10.2, and you can also change the sorting status this IP address. So I'm gonna leave this in default state and click next, and we're already in the Win servers. Computers running in Windows can use the Win servers to convert NetBIOS computer names to IP address. So I didn't to put anything here, so click next. Then we are in activate scope. Clients can obtain addresses leases only if a scope is activated. So yes, I want to activate this scope now. Click next, and then finish. So that's it. We already add a new scope successfully. There's as you can see here, I have already two scope in IP version 4. The first scope is I forget what's the video tutorial uploaded in YouTube that configuring the first scope. I'm using the first name by starting IP address 192.168.1.0. So I already add this in my previous video tutorial. I've already uploaded in YouTube. So this is the new scope that I configured and added today. So you can see here, same as my previous video tutorial, there's some contents of scope, address full, address leases, reservation, scope, and policies. So in reservations, it is ensured that the DHCP client is always assigned the same IP address. And as you can see, in scope options, there's a lot of options: the router, the servers, the domain name. You can see the value as well. policy name. So a lot of stuff you can see, but I don't need to discuss it in this video. I will discuss it later in my next video tutorial. So by the way, if you add some new scope and you want to refresh, you can refresh it by you can refresh it at this section. In click the Windows at my local and task, and you can refresh it by clicking the restart, stopping the server, and but you cannot. It stated it cannot find the server because I don't think so. So that's all for today, and thanks for watching my video, and see you in my next video. Goodbye.